this to get this damn
Hey
green
guys, the
glare off the
pre-show
screen.
was lit tonight. You don't even know.
That's true.
This is
It
3
was lit.
and I am one of your hosts, Dr. Diz. And to my left, hand is good. We have Double Odd Buck in the center square. Clint
He's the
Eastwood.
Whoopi Goldberg of Three Old Men.
He's the Whoopi Goldberg. And we got Clint
Well, I'm
Eastwood
out
over
then
there
on that one.
on the
You could have
far
named
left.
me just about anybody else but that one.
Hold on, who was the other center square? There was another center square.
There was a couple depending on what year you watched Hollywood Squares.
Do remember Whoopi quite a bit, but there was some other ones. Was Gilbert Godfrey the center square?
He was on there a lot, but I don't know if he was the center square.
That's where I got to know him quite a bit.
Yep. I need to know who was on the center square.
Gilbert Godfrey. Wait, this is 3 Old Men, where we talk about random stuff. So,
we talk about dead celebrity.
I mean, we've been known to.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We have been known to. Double out Whoopi. I like it. I like it. Now I got an idea for a shirt.
Oh my god.
One of them was Pamela Anderson.
Really? Pamela Anderson was a center square?
Yep.
Was that on like the special Baywatch episode or something?
Well, it was.
Although, to be fair, if it was a Baywatch episode, shouldn't technically David Hasselhoff be the center square?
No, this is.
He was the leader.
He was the leader.
This was not. This was Hip Hop Squares. This was a spinoff. Hang on, never mind. It was a spinoff.
That sounds. Not to bemoan anything or make anybody mad, but that sounds like a horrible version of the show.
Oh, I agree.
So how's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Diz?
I'm all right.
I feel like I haven't seen you in at least a day.
At least 24 hours.
Yeah, feels about like that long. Yeah.
Joanne Rivers was in the center quite often.
Oh, can we talk? Oh. Joan Rivers.
She dead too.
She is dead. She died of a botched plastic surgery.
Was it that? Or I thought she went in to have a scope done.
Then what was it? Paul Lynde? Is that how you pronounce it?
Paul Lynde is one of my favorites.
He was center square for about 40 pictures I've seen.
He was amazing. Now, some of you, especially the younger people, may not know who Paul Lynde is, but older people, such as myself, will know Paul Lynde as the uncle warlock guy from Bewitched.
No.
But he was hilarious.
He was when it started, like before Whoopi ever showed up. He was the original center square.
Yeah, Whoopi was like the 80s version, mid 80s version of Hollywood Squares. I wish they'd bring that show back. That was a good show. I like that show.
Here's a bunch of good like game shows in the 80s.
There was. You had Hollywood Squares. You had Pressure Luck. You had Name That Tune.
They tried to bring it back, and I don't think it worked so or something. I don't know. People figured out the pattern or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. But I mean, the whammies were awesome. Everybody liked the whammies, right? They were great.
What were they going to do?
They got Roy Clark as a center square.
Roy Clark as a center square?
Well, if you want to know the reference here. George Jones is here. Tammy Wynette's here. Minnie Pearl's
so it's
here.
country music edition of Hollywood Squares. It's Nashville Squares. I'll say Roy Clark showing up on Hollywood Squares.
No.
And Chad, if you don't know who Roy Clark is, Google Hee Haw.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then you'll know who Roy Clark is because he's picking and someone else is grinning.
Summon you, Roy Clark, from hell. That's on Squidbillies.
Damn. Damn.
I don't know what he did at the end of the mill, but
I don't know. Sounds rough. So what have you guys been doing? What have you been up to? Buck, I know, got his bones cracked.
Yeah. Whew.
Maya had a slight orgasm because of it.
I think I had an out of body experience, to be honest.
There you go. There you go. So it was a really good orgasm. Have you ever orgasmed so much you died? So do I have.
They popped everything from my skull to my tailbone in my vertebrae. It was something.
Nice. That's what you hope, she says, Chad. What you did is what you've been doing. You've been playing anything? Okay. Here's the thing, Chad. I know what Diz has been playing. He plays this every second of the day that he's not at work or DMing. He's been playing Baldur's Gate 3.
That is a fact.
Yep. Actually, went to a middle school football game, which is not creepy because I have a child that is a middle schooler. So.
There you go. It works.
Not creeping. That was interesting. It was like one team was definitely better than the other team.
Yeah.
It was very lopsided.
Usually how it goes.
Yeah. And then I've been working on some D&D stuff. Getting ready for Sunday. Last night, me and Timmy Turbo there, I think we got into the third act of Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice.
Claim last night they killed a god called Merkin.
Merkel.
Nope, it was Merkin.
Was he dressed in red, white, and blue and smoking Marlboros and
not
eagle?
No, not Merca. Merkin.
Did he keep saying "fuck yeah"?
We fought Murky.
Murky?
The Murloc. The Murloc god.
That sounds like the worst god.
That's the best one right there, Clan.
I would go with Loth before I would a Murloc god. Definitely. And she just wants to turn you into a spider. If you're a guy, she wants to turn you into a drider. You can walk around the Underdark. No, Timmy, do not praise Loth. She is evil. You don't be praising Loth around here. Not bad.
I did see that you played some Sea of Stars.
I did on Monday night instead of doing retro. Played Sea of Stars. Heavy Chrono Trigger vibes. It made me feel so good about myself and life in general. Really looking forward to diving back into that soon. But yeah, it was very cool. You have two protagonists and you can pick either one of them if you want to play. I will say I like the Moonerang skill that the lady has. It's a very cool mechanic. You just keep pressing A at the right time, it bounces off of you. And I think there's even an achievement for getting it to do 100 times. Nice. But it's very cool. There's some cool mechanics with it. There's even like some brief anime like style cutscenes or something, which I was not expecting. But yeah, it looks like somebody just took Chrono Trigger and made it just a little more pretty. But the overworld map reminds me of Chrono Trigger. The animations of the people remind me of Chrono Trigger. It was very nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I saw the video that you had out there, the VOD, but I haven't watched it yet. I started to
Of
click on
course.
it, and then I was like, do I want to spoil it for myself? Because I think it's going to be an amazing.
Don't let him lie to you. He was going to click on it. He said, "But I also have Baldur's Gate 3 over here, and I'm going to do that over watching the VOD that is on my channel."
And then on my other monitor is only leeches. Well,
Well, I mean, I can understand you staying on Only Liches because there's nothing but sexy bitches at Only Liches. Speaking of two other things, I want to say, I also played a little bit, started up the beta, which you can download now on everything. I think maybe not Xbox, but check and see because I'm not 100%. For Star Ocean, the second story, R, which is the remake of Star Ocean, the second story that originally came out for the PS1 back in the day. Very good JRPG. Really liked it back in the day. I own it. It's somewhere in a box. Played a little bit of it. It's weird what they've done with it. Like the backgrounds and stuff, the environments are all remade and they're in like 3D. But the characters look kind of like the 2D sprites that were on the PlayStation version. And I kind of dig it. So definitely looking forward to that coming out when it comes out. What else have I played? Played a little bit of the open beta for the first Descendant, which is a looter shooter. Kind of like it's like I'll say like it's kind of like Destiny and Warframe had a baby. Played a little bit of it. You get to pick from 3 different characters at the beginning. I chose the girl because she's pretty.
I figured it was closer to Outriders.
That is, I'm gonna say it's better than Outriders.
No, I'm saying like you said those two had a baby. I said I figured it gameplay wise is closer to Outriders. Your
Maybe
skills and the way
you have
that
like
you're
you have like 4 skills that you can use when you first start the game, and then they're kind of locked as you go through it.
and then
And you
all
kind of
the
go
other
across the
players are
map
locked
and
until you get
yep,
further.
and it's kind of like Wayfinder like that. You can get shards and stuff to unlock the other characters. So there's that. I mean, it's not
Tyson
too
and them have
bad.
been playing.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's definitely a lot of cool mechanics there with it. It's really heavy on having cool guns. I will say that. Cool guns and cool outfits. It seems to be what it's
It's
about.
really heavy on some parts of it.
Yes, yes. This game was made in Korea. And you can tell that it was made in Korea. I'm just going to say that. Take that what you will. But if you played Black Desert, you know what I'm talking about.
This is, yeah. Except in
Yeah,
Black
like,
Desert, they made you look like a hobo. And you have to pay them to you can put
yeah,
on
here
all
you
these
don't look
clothes.
like a hobo. You start out looking cool, then you just
The
look
one,
cooler
the
as
one
you
you
go
got
on.
the image you got on the screen is that second one is the tank of all tanks.
Yeah, and you can start as him. He is what the two there on the first 3 that you see there on the screen are your 3 starter characters that you can pick from.
And they claim that the one you clicked on right there is probably argumentatively one of the highest damage dealers in the game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. They also have the strand whipping mechanic, but it's not strand, it's just you throw out this little energy whip and you can pull yourself up to higher places and stuff and direct it around in different directions, which is a cool mechanic. I like that. That's one of the things I like about Destiny now is the strand stuff because it makes you feel powerful and quick, and I like that. So yeah, I mean it's it's a looter shooter from Korea. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's not the best game I've ever played. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It is a strong at least 5 out of 10.
I mean, are we going to run into a problem here with um, these games that they're just going to like produce with these really cool looking graphics and stuff with these
Mhm.
AI generators that have
Mhm.
no substance to them? Which I
Yes.
don't know if this one has any substance to it or not. I haven't played it, but the way you're explaining it makes me think that you know it's
Well, I've
just a
made it into
shooter.
this.
And
I've
there's no
made it into the second
storyline.
area. There is a little bit of story, but I haven't got heavy into the story. They say that
Yeah.
there's more story as you go along. Like I said, I'm only like level 6. I'm not far
Can I use
into
that
it.
as a tagline? More
Yeah.
story as you go along, says Clan
More
Diesel.
story as you go along. Clan Diesel Nerdacopia Network. It's a solid 5 out of 10. Clan Diesel Nerdacopia Network.
He gives a
Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, between the two of them, I think I like Wayfinder better. But it's something new. It's something to play. There's also another one called Synced, which is another game, another kind of looter shooter thing where you have like an AI helper that you get that you can either wear as armor or you can take it out and it starts attacking things. Or each one, there's like 4 of them and they do different attacks and stuff like that. So there's also that. So it seems to be a lot of people are trying to hook on to this looter shooter thing because I think they sense there's blood in the water with Destiny. The big thing is though that you got to remember, even though there's blood in the water with this, it's still the best one on the market.
I mean, just the way the game feels is really because Bungie knows how to make a shooter. So.
Yeah, Bungie knows how to make a shooter, 100%, 100%. It's going to be hard to top that. But also, Ubisoft announced Division 3 today. But they said it's in production. So today, I don't know if everybody knows this, but today was the opening of Tokyo Game Show in Tokyo, Japan. A lot of things came out today in Tokyo Game Show news. It was actually a pretty good showing in Japan for Xbox if you have Game Pass, because they showed a lot of stuff coming to Game Pass, and some of it is day one, day and date. Octopath Traveler 2 is coming to Xbox. So there's that. Let's see. There is Fallout 76 is getting an expansion. Elder Scrolls Online is coming to Japan. The Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy of games is coming to Game Pass in September 26th. To be able to play that on Game Pass if you have it. Let's see. What else is here? Okay, Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which is a spiritual successor to the Suikoden, which are awesome games that are also getting a remake that are coming out later.
Oh my god, they're remaking those?
Yes, they're doing HD remasters of Suikoden 1 and 2, and that is a day one purchase, chat.
I've only played one of them. I've only played Suikoden 2, which was really good. I don't think I finished it because I had to rent
It's
it
the
from
best one.
From the video rental store way back in the day. And when I took it back, then Clan Diesel went in there and rented it probably, and I could never rent it.
I just said, here's a blank check. I'm going to take this game, and when I bring it back, just fill in the number. Yep. So that's coming out April 24th, 2024 for Eiyuden Chronicle. That's going to be day and date on Game Pass. Let's see. Oh yeah, and these were two big things here. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, which is they changed the name of the series of games. They used to be called Yakuza, and now they renamed them to Like a Dragon. So Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name is coming out in November on November 9th. It's going to be day and date on Game Pass. And then Like a Dragon Ishin, which is like it's set in feudal Japan, like 1800s Japan, like at the end of the samurai era. That's coming out later this year on Game Pass as well.
So, question: when will we see? I mean, all the fans are asking. When will we finally see Super Retro Game Show at the Tokyo Game Show?
Well, that's a good question, and I would like to answer that right now. The chat, that's up to you. I'm just going to tell you, it's up to you. We need about $15,000 minimum, and you can send 2 bumpkins to be the Clampets go to Tokyo. But you can send us there. We will film everything. So there you go. Now you know what you have to do. So help us out. TGX 2024. Be there or be square. Also, my dog is going great. What are you doing? I'm on the thing.
He's pumped about the game show.
Are you excited about Xbox Game Pass editions this year?
He's a reincarnated feudal lord from.
He was originally a samurai in 1800s Japan.
I have something to tell y'all, and you can take it for face value if you want to.
Sure,
I asked Malnox when he was going to have Not Actually Heroes flown out to Sweden.
But they do love us there.
And he said next year. He said next year for the con that's going on next week.
I'll go to SwedeCon.
Hey, if they get us a spot there, yeah, we'll.
And I said, all right, I'm gonna tell the guys. He said, go for it. So
listen, here's the thing, Malnox, if you're watching, I know you're not, but if you are, or you're watching this sometime in the future, listen, I'll even break down and play Genshin.
Oh my God.
Okay, I've secretly sometimes been playing Honkai Star Rail, just so you know. You don't know that because we're not friends on Honkai Star Rail. But I'll break down again and even play Genshin if that's what it takes. Because you know me, world traveler that I am.
I would love need to hang out Sweden
off
in Sweden, play some Genshin, and slam a pizza with Malnox.
Slam a pizza.
That's the only way. Pizza.
Yeah, that's the only way you can describe how Malnox ate the pizza.
Apparently, they do have a good McDonald's. I saw
a video you were of him on YouTube. Say devour a pizza.
I thought he was going to say slam a Swiss Miss, and I was like, Diz, that's a different country.
Yeah.
But it's close. I mean, we could probably go fly there for like another $25. So
here's the problem that we don't speak any of these languages.
Yeah, I do not speak Swedish at all.
I mean,
don't even know the first part of speaking Swedish.
Mal's wife speaks Swedish.
I would hope so. Her being Swedish.
That's what I'm saying. We just have her translate. It's fine.
Hey, Fev, how do I say more Diet Coke in Swedish? Do they even have Diet Coke? Does Europe allow diet beverages?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, you allow Crystal Pepsi.
Oh my God. I tried that. Remember when they brought it back?
It did not taste the same as it did.
It did not taste the same. I'm glad somebody else thought that too. It did not taste the same. I was like, this, like 9-year-old Clan Diesel was like, this ain't right.
Yeah. I was like, this is not the same recipe.
And 40-year-old Clan Diesel concurred.
Yeah. No.
We had a meeting of the Diesels.
The Diesel.
Yep. Was Vin there?
Yep. There was me, young me, Vin Diesel.
Damn it, you
Diesel
didn't invite
from Thomas
us over?
The Tank Engine.
That was rude, Clan. I know it's all about family, but what the fuck? You could have at least gave me a heads up.
Sorry. What up, Sly? Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to let my dog into the bedroom with my wife because that's what he's wanting, and I'll be right back. And then I do want to talk about Also, hey Sly. I think I said that before, but hey Sly. But I do want to bring up something that Timmy brought up.
I want to talk to him about Arc 2. If he'd have told me he was meeting with him, I could have discussed some things about Arc 2.
Already involved in that project, so probably already can't tell us so. Just stare at the camera and don't say anything if it's true.
What are you talking about?
You know, I'd pay $500,000 for that. Will he call me? Will he say that I'm family too? And then the song will start playing. I like how Vin Diesel is like the super butch guy, and then he's got a tattoo of his night elf. Or not night. He has night elf, right? He's got a tattoo of his night elf or something on his arm. Or his Elven Ranger. No, it's an elf. It's just an elf ranger or something. His D&D character. He's got it tattooed on his arm. Yep. But I have seen actually, Timmy, the pictures of the graphical comparisons of every other version of Mortal Kombat 1 and the Switch version.
I haven't seen this.
It is bad. Yeah.
Is it like when you played Mortal Kombat at the arcade and then you bought it on Super Nintendo and
worse?
Was kind of the same.
I mean, the graphics were okay between the two. The biggest thing with playing Mortal Kombat 1 with the original Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo was that there's no blood. At least you had the blood code on the Genesis to play actual Mortal Kombat, even though the graphics were worse on the Genesis. But the it looks like all the other versions are like you're playing the new Mortal Kombat 1 in 2023 on a very nice, new console or PC. And then the Switch version is like you're trying to play Mortal Kombat 1, but you're having to play it on a PS2. It looks like somebody took Mortal Kombat 1 and took all the settings sliders and moved them all the way to the left. And then set the graphic settings for extremely low. That's how bad it is. Like, they should not have put Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. They should have just waited for the Switch 2. The Switch 1 will probably, the original Switch will probably explode if you play it too long with Mortal Kombat
pushing
1.
The limits of this console.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it won't run the new Pokemon games at 30 frames. And that's Pokemon. What the hell made you think it was going to run Mortal Kombat 1 at anywhere decent of anything? Exactly. If you hit the fatality, your Switch will explode. There's a slight chance of overload. It comes with a warning from Doc Brown when you buy the Mortal Kombat 1 game on Switch.
I mean, you'll just have real lightning in your house. It's fine.
Now you're making me think that when you turn it on, Seth Rogen said, it's like, thank you for purchasing this game.
Exactly. It's like you went and watched the new Turtles movie and Seth Rogen's at the beginning of it going, thank you for buying a ticket to watch my movie. I really appreciate it. It's like you buy Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch and like Ed Boon comes up on the screen and he's like, I am so sorry. We've snuck in a copy of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It'll run better. Just play that.
So I was excited when I first heard about the Mortal Kombat 1. And as I looked more and more into it, I was like, I was kind of turned off and playing it. Because I thought that they were going to go with a small character base and start over. Kind of like Mortal Kombat, the very first Mortal Kombat, only have a small character base, but it seems like there's a bunch of characters. And I even saw something where it looked like some of the characters from The Boys, that show, that they might put those into the game or they're in the game.
Yeah, there's some
Maybe.
DLC characters, yeah. That they're not released
And
yet, but they'll be available.
I
But it's
understand
not
the
it's
draw
like
of that, but I wanted it to be like that, like they were going to take it seriously.
it's basically from what I've been able to gather, Liu Kang becomes a god and he decides he's going to try to prevent Mortal Kombat. So he resets the timeline to where the big bads don't meet each other to become these super powerful guys. So what happens is that somebody else starts forcing them together and undoing what Liu Kang did, and that's why everybody is in there because it touches on these people. Like I saw somebody playing it, and I saw Quan Chi was there, but he wasn't a super powerful sorcerer until something happened. Um, Shang Tsung's there, but he's not super powerful yet either. But he's been promised power if he does certain things.
Yeah.
Shao Kahn is there, but he seems to be more like a general than the big big tater that he was. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Then I saw
there's
about like Raiden, or you say Raiden or Raiden, or
I say
or
Raiden.
I've heard different ways of saying it,
Yep.
but I think it's even spelled differently. I don't know, but we'll say Raiden. Raiden is a normal guy, and he's like best buds with Kung Lao or
Yeah.
something like that. So,
Yeah. I do love Johnny Cage
yeah, I love the
in
way the
this
game
one.
looks for sure.
Yep. Oh, it's beautiful. The game is beautiful. And it goes seamlessly between the story segments and then actual fights. It's just a seamless transition between the two of them.
That's the draw for me. The storyline seems really good, but when I see the combo, it looks like they have these combos that could almost be almost endless. Like the combo just keep going, going. And I remember being into that when I was younger, playing Killer Instinct. But now I want a game where
Yeah,
it's like
baby.
the combos are short. That way you can't just combo somebody to death.
Well, the good thing about it is
I
that
think
you
that
can.
translates chat as doesn't want to get carpal tunnel until he absolutely has to.
There is
Yeah.
that. But if you'll notice, they do kind of like Marvel versus Capcom does, and you have a secondary character that will hop out
I
and
did
like
see
help
that.
break that from happening. So that happens every now and then. I don't know what triggers it, or if you trigger it, or what. But I have seen
Yeah.
people playing it, and then the secondary character, they get caught in like a combo loop. The second character comes out and
Breaks them
stops it.
free.
Yeah.
Usually that's based on what your bar is, your combo bar, on whether you can call out that character or not. It takes so much of your bar down there
Yeah.
in whatever game you're playing, whatever they call it. But it depends on how much you have stored, on how much of a break you can get, stagger them, or just stop them long enough for a block or whatever, so that you can recover.
Mm-hmm. I will say it is cool to be living in a year where we got a new Street Fighter and a new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Taking me way back. The last
Yeah,
time
it
that
does.
kind of happened.
Yeah, it's
Well, to be
crazy.
fair, we had Street Fighter 2 for like a decade before.
Yeah. Yeah. The Street Fighter 2 never ended. I don't
Yeah.
think. Uh,
You play the new Street Fighter? You mean Street Fighter 2? Yes, the new version of Street Fighter.
yeah. Street Fighter Ultra 2 Tekken Turbo Championship Marauder Vulcan Edition comes with Pocket Fisherman. My main in Mortal Kombat, I always like Scorpion.
It's good. I will say that the first time I saw Mortal Kombat in the arcade, I walked up and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And my other friends were over there playing air hockey or something, and I put a
Mm-hmm.
quarter in, and um, Scorpion is beating the shit out of me, and then he kills me, and seems to be a rare thing that the computer player will actually do a fatality.
Triggered the
But then
fatality. Yeah.
the first time I play it, Scorpion pulls his mask off, sets me on fire, and I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
It's like, this is the greatest game ever.
Yep.
That was me.
I
I
was
never will
hooked
forget
after
it.
that.
Yep. I first saw Mortal Kombat in the arcade at Oasis Pizza, and I proceeded to spend lots of money at Oasis Pizza on food and Mortal Kombat.
So let's see. My favorite character is Kung Lao. I like him. I liked
Well, that's a good one.
his style. You know. Uh,
Are you going to put a blade on your tool hat?
yeah, right here on the front.
Yep. Just throw it and hope it hits the bill hits them.
But I'm curious who's Buck's character? Did you have a character? A favorite?
I mainly played Street Fighter more than I played Mortal Kombat. But out of the originals, if I had to choose one, it would have been Sub Zero.
I like Sub Zero's brother, Sub Zero, that didn't wear the mask.
Yeah, the one with the red
Yeah,
mark
with the
under his
red.
eye.
Yeah, that fought his brother, Robo Sub Zero.
His fatality in the first one was he ripped your head and spine, right? Like he just ripped your head off and your spine was in
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
But in the Super Nintendo version, of course, he froze you and broke you, and that was it. There's no
Mm-hmm.
blood.
Nope. It's all sweat. How sweaty are you when you get your spine ripped up?
Yeah. So, Buck, is that what happened to you? Is that what you were talking about?
When you
Yeah,
were at the
that
chiropractor today, did you
what
hear
was
fatality?
what was that sweat or is that spinal fluid that you saw in the game?
I hope, I don't know.
Mm.
I hope it's not spinal fluid. That'd be horrible.
They just didn't show blood, right? They didn't say they couldn't show spinal fluid.
Yep, they did not show blood, and they turned down the violence a little bit.
I like Cabal as well. I liked his move where he would run past you and spin you, and then
Oh yeah, Cabal is good.
he had those weird
Yep.
hook swords. I don't even know what you call
Yep.
those exactly, but
Yeah, I remember him from Mortal Kombat 3.
mhm.
I also like Sector.
It's silence, right?
Yeah, and Sector and Cyrax.
That's
But
like
in
the
Mortal
George and
Kombat
Barney of
1,
Mortal Kombat.
I'm going to do fatality on you now. Please be still. This could take a minute. I don't think you're supposed to tell me that. No, it's polite.
I feel like we were on the topic. Remember what that topic?
Well, we were talking about TGS and games and stuff, and then it skewed into Mortal Kombat, which is fine. I like Mortal Kombat.
The topic we were on was the fact that Mortal Kombat 1 decided that it was going to launch into Switch.
Which is a bad idea. Moral of the story, chat: bad idea. But you can look on IGN and other game sites for photos of what it looks like, but it looks real bad. Don't buy Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch, please, for the children. Don't do it. Hey, do you guys like scary movies? The Nun 2 comes out this weekend.
I'd have to be at home watching it by myself. Nobody in my house is going to watch it with me.
That's me. Yeah, nobody would watch it here.
And we can't have a watch along in Discord with Diz because he ain't going to fucking watch it.
Seems like a movie that isn't going to be scary. It sounds like one of the
I
Chucky
mean,
movies.
So some of the shit I've seen in previews could cause some jump scares, especially
Well,
when
remember,
that light off and on and that nun shows up in her face.
The Nun is an offshoot of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And The Conjuring can be pretty scary at times.
We are coming up on that October month. So
That's
I
true.
I was asked in my last live stream by somebody that showed up new and followed if I was into playing scary games and asked me what I thought about Phasmophobia. And I told them that there may be a good chance that I may pair up with this network as a whole and play some Phasmophobia in the month of October for them to stand by and watch out.
I want to play it on VR.
I mean, I'll play it. You want to play it on? I want to see you play it on VR. I want to be in the room with you when you play it on VR.
Don't do that, Clan. You'll get hit.
You get hit. You get punched.
That's true. Timmy says that we can do a full 4-man crew.
I mean, can Timmy front line or front the money like Regan did? Because I bet we can get Regan back too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we do need a sugar daddy.
Do we need our sugar daddy back? Is the question.
I don't know. There's also that other game. He says, "Shit, I think I'm loaded." Nice. Yeah,
I mean,
that other
we
game,
know you're loaded, but we're asking for money.
That's like Phasmophobia. So there's a lot of stuff that we could definitely play. There's a lot of stuff that we could play. I like scary games.
We could have Diz continue Amnesia, and I know some cards I need to play.
I like survival horror games myself. I'll be honest with you. I was not impressed with Amnesia.
Oh, I know. I was just talking about playing those cards again, where I freaked out chat.
Listen, I do like the card.
I'm not sitting next to that window anymore.
It makes it sound like somebody's knocking on my window, which, as chat knows, sometimes happens for real.
Yeah, like the other day.
Why don't they have more like that? Like they could have one that sounds like somebody's breathing on you or something, like right here.
Well, they have one that's supposed to. It's supposed to be like a demon's whispering in your ear, but they didn't do it correctly because it sounds like it's off, like back over here instead of like right up in your ear. They have one like that. It's just they didn't adjust it correctly to where it sounds like it came right over your shoulder and was like right up on y'all out of nowhere.
They probably made it too soft. It needs to have that breathy sound to it, but it needs to be kind of loud.
And just
if it's right up in your ear, that's what you're gonna hear.
I want a demon that sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage.
I want them to come out with a game called Supernatural.
That would be a cool game. Can I play all 15 seasons?
I mean,
or each season DLC.
I mean, would you pay for the DLCs? Because I would.
Yes, I'll upfront pay for it. It's like, here's $300. I will gladly pay it.
But here's the catch.
As long as I get baby.
No, that was one of those.
Whoever is going to make this, here's the catch though. Bobby Singer has to be able to be a playable character from the beginning all the way to the end.
No, I want Bobby to be the guy that gives you your missions. That's what I want. I want Bobby.
But I'm saying,
I want to come in and be like, okay, Bobby, I killed a Wendigo. And he's like, good job, Idjit. Here's your other thing.
But you want to have more than just 2 people to play, right? You want to have like 4 people on your hunts.
Yeah, if you multiplayer it, then you could do it differently. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Bobby has to be able to be played from start to finish. None of this where he dies and
what if you
gone.
what if the multiplayer was done kind of like Friday the 13th, the game, or the new one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where like you get in a game with like 8 people, right? And then it splits you up. Some of you are hunters. So, you're Sam and Dean and Bobby and random other hunter.
Cass.
Yeah.
He becomes a
Yeah.
hunter later. I mean, let's face it, he does.
Yep, 100%. I don't understand. What is Lusty Busty?
What are magic fingers?
Yeah.
Here's some quarters.
Right. And then the other 4 people are monsters.
You get to pick the monster.
You can pick the monster, and you get to each one has a special ability that the monster has in the show, right?
So Leviathan.
No. Damn.
I mean, if you're gonna add the monsters, you gotta add them all.
No, you can't have the Leviathan. That's cheating. Even God was like, "No, this is too much."
Les over here like, okay, Buck, I'm down, and then he's like, "Damn it, Buck, you went too far."
Yep. Also, chat Supernatural seasons 1 through 15 available now in HD on Netflix. Go watch it after this. Unless you're Diz, who only goes for 3 episodes, and then it's like, I don't know about this.
And then you're like, oh, Ahsoka's on.
I'm going to stop Supernatural so I can watch the Great British Bake Off.
Hey, all I got to say, Glenn, is if that game comes out, and you and I co-op that, we would have to split who gets to drive Baby. You don't get to drive it all the time if you pick Dean. I'm just saying. Because Sam does get to drive Baby too.
Sam does get to drive Baby sometimes. Yeah, that is true. It happens sometimes. Like that time he put a CD player in it.
No, I'm not talking about that trashy ass mess. I'm talking about like when Dean dies and goes to hell.
Yep. You should really watch Supernatural, Diz. It's an amazing show.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of these references. I understand that the baby must be the car.
The baby is the car.
Yes.
Yeah, baby is the car. And Jensen Ackles actually got to take Baby home.
I mean,
that was in his contract for the final season.
I mean, considering how often he was in that damn thing.
Yeah.
And the best blooper for the entire show was him and Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Yep. But anyway, so Diz, what would you like to talk about?
I fell asleep there for a second.
Damn it.
I can't. I imagine once I get past the part of the first season and get into some of the deeper storyline, the interconnecting storyline probably gets a lot better. I've only watched 3 episodes.
Don't get me wrong. There are some stupid episodes like Ghost Facers. Fuck those little shitheads. Sam and Dean should have just killed them. But
here's the thing. The first 5 seasons is all one big story.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the guy that made the show originally had planned. He had 5 seasons planned of story. At the end of the 5th season, he ended the show. I mean, seriously, the last episode of the 5th season is the series finale, and he leaves. And CW was like, "No, you can't do this."
They're like, "This is too huge. We can't."
So then they keep going for 10 more years, and each season is a separate story. But it all starts off with Dad went hunting.
So same producer and director, is just the screenwriter changes after the 5th. Because Kripke and Singer are still a part of all of it. Which is funny because Singer is actually producing all of it all the way through, and he actually has got a character named in the show. Because, I mean, when you're in charge, chat, why would you not? He's got one of the best characters in the show.
Like I said, what would you like to talk about now, Diz?
I put to Ahsoka. It's pretty good. It's not great by any means. It has a lot of nostalgia if you watch a lot of the cartoon, but some of the episodes are just filler. It's just giving you information. Nothing really happens. But the episodes that are really so. I guess that makes up for it. So. It's almost like it should have just been a movie. They should have just
Probably.
thrown it all into one movie. Probably could have did it in 2 hours or something like that. So, but whatever. I won't
I've
complain.
not
It's
watched.
Ahsoka.
I've not watched Ahsoka, and I haven't watched Clone Wars, the animated series, or the other one, Rebels.
Yep. Yeah. Ahsoka would mean a lot more to you if you watch Force Feed. At least the Clone Wars.
Diz, what do you think about those hyperspace space whales?
I think it's interesting. I think that Filoni is willing to kind of push the limits, explore things that are outside of just the Sith Jedi. That's interesting. And they needed a means of intergalactic travel. So this was their thing. Like these creatures do it.
I just thought it was funny how they did it.
It's
like how they got there because she's talking to it, and then well, like,
yeah,
and then how they do it with their tails. I was like, okay, that's a unique take on how you can space travel, but all right. And then it's gone.
Yeah, something use the
I do
Force to
know
travel.
one thing about it. So apparently they find out that Palpatine had detected Force energy from outside the galaxy.
Kind of.
But he was the only one that could detect it.
Well, it's not in Ahsoka. We learn this. We learn this in Rebels. It's showing some stuff. It doesn't. It's not just in black and white. This is what this is. It's just they show him in a scene, and you can see him. It's this weird place. It's like this world between worlds. It's like this between dimensions place that they go to in that cartoon, and you go back there in this of the series. It's
So
like
what's the deal with Ahsoka?
Like you see outer space, and there's these like clear bridges you walk on, and like portals to different times and all kinds of ways.
Yeah. What's the deal with her fighting Hayden Christensen? But sometimes he's Darth Vader.
So of course, Hayden Christensen plays Anakin, right?
Yeah.
And then in the Clone Wars, there's a different voice actor who sounds pretty much just like that does it. So we get Anakin Skywalker, his kind of turn to the dark side. You see it more drawn out in the series. Ahsoka is his Padawan,
right,
throughout the whole series. And at the end of that series, spoilers, everybody. Ahsoka walks away from the Jedi, and that's where it ends. They end the series like it's gone. Like we're like all the fans are like, what? You can't just end the game. Well, they come back later, a couple years later, and they give us one last season. Kind of wraps up the storyline. It goes all the way into Order 66. You get to see what ends up happening with some more story on Darth Maul. Many people really like that character, and we get to see what happens to Ahsoka after she's left, which leads us into Rebel, then leads us into this show. So he appears to her in this world between worlds. So nobody's really sure what he exactly is. If he's a force projection of himself, if it's
so in the show of Ahsoka, does it take place after episode 6, or does it take place sometime during the original trilogy?
It happens after episode 6. Let's see. So 6 would
So
be
it's between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
no. So Rebels, the cartoon happens. I think because that Darth Vader is actually in Rebels, the cartoon.
Yep.
So I think it Rebels happens before episode 6. Before New Hope. It happens before New Hope. So Rebels happens then, and then we we get to the Ahsoka series, and that is after episode 6. So we
It
have
says
Darth
Ahsoka takes
Vader's
place
gone,
about a decade after A New Hope, 15 years after Rebels. Is when
which
it takes place.
which at that point Vader. So we're probably after episode 6 at that point.
Yeah, it would be after episode 6. So you're in that 30-year meantime between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That's
It's
yeah.
set
That's why
after the
Anakin
end of the
appearing
trilogy. Yeah.
is unusual.
And Anakin's in the Force as himself again.
Yeah. So it says it takes place 25 years before The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're skirting the lines of this, Jedi and Sith. That when you go to a Sith, that you're just this extreme, all of a sudden suited with power, and then when you're a Jedi, you're just all sacrificed. We're getting the Gray Jedi is what we're seeing,
Which
in
is
Ahsoka.
good. They need to do more with the Gray Jedi.
So Ahsoka walked away from the Jedi Order, so she's more towards the light side. And then we have I can't think of his characters.
The bearded guy?
Yeah, the bearded guy. Can't think of his name right now. But he, I think it's Balin.
Lord
I
Balin.
think that, yeah, Balin. Which that actor he passed away after the show, some mysterious disease. But he is phenomenal in the show.
Did you know he's the guy that took over? Let's see, he was in the second Punisher movie. He took over that character. And I think he was also Agent 47 in the second Hitman movie as well.
That guy was?
Yep.
I mean, he's a phenomenal actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really needs that show. The bad guy that he portrays is not like this over obsessed, super evil Sith Lord.
Yeah.
It's like he's more of a zealot. He's driven with some type of purpose. It's just from our point of view, it would be probably evil thing.
Yeah.
His point of view. Yeah, probably pretty good. I think we're on episode 6 right now, so
So should be ending soon.
Got like 2 more episodes.
Yeah, either 8 or 10 episodes.
I hate that. I hate that. It pisses me off. It's what makes me mad with Doctor Who as well. I hate these shows that come out and I've got to wait at least a year to watch it. And then they come out and they're only like 8 to 10 episodes a piece. They're like, well, I'm sorry, that's all we can afford to do. And like, dude, just shut up. You made $400 billion last year. You cleared $400 billion. That means after you paid everybody, you made like $400 billion. You could have made 10 more episodes. Kills me. I hate it. It pisses me off.
Loki season 2 is coming out. I think it's the first week of October. So
There's only gonna be like 8 episodes of that too.
That's true. One of them will be set in a McDonald's in like 1984.
Great. Loki jumping through time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With what's his name? Owen Wilson.
It was Owen Wilson, yeah. Lightning McQueen himself. We in the past? Wow.
You know, some of that gives me like RIPD vibes when I'm watching Loki and they're jumping through doing stuff, and I'm like, man, it's just these two guys trying to take on rogue bullshit. And
Yep.
I'm like, this is just like watching RIPD.
Well, hello there, Misty. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I know. I actually watched RIPD. I didn't think it was half bad. I have not watched RIPD 2.
I watched the second one. It was not as good as the first one.
I like the guy that's in the second one because
Yeah.
I like the show Burn Notice. And he was in Burn Notice.
Yeah.
But he's not the reason I watched Burn Notice. I watched Burn Notice because it had Bruce Campbell in it. And if Bruce Campbell is in something, I'll watch it. It's one of the creeds I live by.
I mean, there's only one reason that he watched the Rookie Chat.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion was in it.
Yeah, that's the only reason why he watched it.
That's why I watched Castle.
Yeah.
Good excuse.
And I love Castle. It's a great show, especially on the Halloween episode where he dressed up as Mao, Captain Mao. It was great. I'm like, I love this guy. This guy's me if I ever made it big. I'll always, whatever made me famous, I'll always go back to that.
Yeah, he threw back with that one. He's like, yes, it still fits.
Yeah. Well, his daughter's like, what are you dressed at? And he goes, Space Cowboy. He's like, there's no cows in space. He's like,
That's debatable. Depends on how you look at it.
I don't remember him delivering cows in Firefly, but I do remember them delivering horses one time. Also, that is such a good show too, and you can watch it right now in HD on Hulu. So you should go watch it, Chad, after this show's over.
And after you watch Supernatural first.
It's only 13 episodes and a movie. Although the movie's not called Firefly, it's called Serenity. A little confusing, but watch Serenity after you watch Firefly.
Did you say that's on Hulu?
Yep.
But couldn't you just watch it on Disney Plus?
I don't know if it's on Disney Plus. They own it.
I think Firefly's on Disney Plus.
They may have added it. I don't know. Disney owns the majority of Hulu, so it's probably in both places.
So did you hear episodes on Disney?
Did you hear that they're combining their catalog coming up to where Hulu and Disney aren't going to be showing as much on each one, because if you can find it on one, you're not going to find it on the other anymore. So they're just going to start subtracting different videos.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I was like, y'all are just now getting to that. Like, y'all were combined as a bundle. You shouldn't be showing multiple on different streaming platforms anyways. That doesn't give anybody incentive to have both.
It's true. That's true. Although I think the best show on Hulu is Letterkenny, but that's just me.
It's a good show, but when I watch it, I can only watch so much of that show.
Power through it.
You have to get in small segments.
I love it. Oh, hello, we got somebody. We got a Marlin.
Oh my god! I gotta turn off one of those notifiers.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn off Botrix alerts.
Can we just unmod Botrix so that it will shut the fuck up?
I don't even see Botrix in chat.
Thank you, Mystified, for your 7 months up. Appreciate it.
I thought Diz already cut Botrix off. All I see is Stream Element.
I had the source turned on there, so it.
Yeah. Trust me, Botrix is there. I'm looking right at it.
It's
hanging out and
decides not to work.
Exactly. And they state that in the bot when you go to it and put it on Twitch mode. It's like We're
So what
trying
you're
our
saying
best.
is Bondrix just opted not to do anything this time. I see.
Right now, I'm
popular on
saying,
the screen. It just
yep.
didn't be in the chat.
Unless you're on the green stuff, don't use Botrix, is what I'm saying. But thank you for that 7-month resub, Misty. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. There's one other thing I was going to ask, and it kind of went. I'm hoping it comes back.
It's about Space Cowboy.
It was not about Space Cowboys. However, if I ever get skinny again, because I was skinny once in my life, Chad, believe it or not. If I ever get skinny again, I totally want it to be around Halloween so I can dress up as Captain Mal. But I'll have to wear a wig because I'm bald. When I had hair, I could have pulled it off. Now I look more like Jane.
Is that their next cosplay? I get to be Wash.
There you go. That'll work. I'll be Captain Mal and you can be Wash.
But Diz,
don't say that. That goes bad. That goes bad.
But Diz, you got to be his counterpart.
He's gonna be Zoe.
He's got to be the counterpart.
I mean,
Clan was your counterpart as Tifa.
I would be Zoe if I thought I could pull it off. I don't think I can pull it off.
That's true. All I'm saying is that Zoe is now a Disney princess. And so is Kaylee. And River.
Yeah.
And Inara. So there you go. I want that Disney princess movie. All I'm saying. Shit, what was I going to say? It's killing me. I can't remember what I was going to bring up.
About movies.
No, it wasn't about movies.
TV shows.
It was something game related, and it came into my brain. I was like, "Oh yeah, I do want to talk about that. That'd be a good thing." And then, like I said, it goes because my brain went, "Ooh, Firefly."
So it's gonna be a new game, right?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I hate that when my brain does that. Yep. Is it bigger than a bread box? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Is it
was
less
gonna be good.
than 100 gigabytes?
There's nothing less than 100 gigabytes now. Did you see where Rebirth, if you buy it physical, comes on 2 discs? It's 150 gig, but you don't have to swap discs.
It just installs it.
Yeah, because that's how games work now.
I'm still gonna get the physical disc.
I am not.
Later, if I want to, I could sell it.
You could sell them.
For you like could $3. Do that.
Just remember, though, even though you have the physical disc, in like 10 years, you're still not going to be able to play the game because it's going to require the day one patch and the servers are going to be down. So you're not going to be able to play the game.
Did you want to talk about Baldur's Gate 3?
Unless they revived the servers like they did for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
They killed a set of Call of Duty servers today. They took them offline.
I know, but they did revive all of the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2 servers recently, so that everybody that used to play them on Xbox 360 could play them again, which I thought was crazy.
That is nuts. Call of Duty Warzone Caldera servers will be shut down today.
I mean, that's Warzone. Ain't nobody got time for that garbage.
I haven't played a Call of Duty game in a long time. I'll be honest with you.
I ain't played since Ghost.
That's the last one I played. Was Ghost.
Unless you're talking the zombies for Black Ops 3 and 4, and I only got Black Ops 3 and 4 for the zombies. I didn't play the multiplayer.
I literally bought Ghost for my Xbox One when I bought my Xbox One. And then I think I think it's the only game I've ever traded into GameStop for a different game.
I think everybody's went to GameStop at one time. How much will you give me for this? And they're like,
I'll give you $1.99.
I can honestly say I've never went to GameStop to trade in a game. Not once. Anything I ever bought, I still own.
There's a bunch of LJN games that needed to be traded in back in the day.
Except for the ones that were
NES.
stolen from me. Because I had every one of my Final Fantasy games stolen from me.
Those bastards.
And I had to go back and buy them all. And we all know how expensive Final Fantasy VII is.
That's true. Hey, at least you can find Mystic Quest for cheap.
I got my collection back.
Just saying.
I'm just saying it took a minute to find my collection and get it back.
You can get Mystic Quest for cheap.
So something has been like on TikTok, internet, everything. Everywhere I go, they're targeting me with these ads for Embernick consoles. Have you heard about these things or seen them or anything?
They're what are they? Embernick?
Embernick? Here, I'll show you.
I haven't even heard of that.
They're these little...
Embernick, the best retro game console.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of.
Okay,
they've got
Windows-based
ones and Linux-based ones.
Yep, I'm looking at it now.
Emulators, all there are.
Yeah, they're little emulator boxes, aren't they?
Yeah, they claim that some of the higher end models like the Windows console there and some of the ones that look about like Switch size will play your Game Pass games, your Switch Online game. Will also do emulation.
So if you were going to go for one of these, why would you not go for like a Steam Deck or like an Asus ROG handheld?
I don't know. Will a Steam Deck do like the emulation stuff? Because I haven't did a lot of research.
You can do emulation stuff on the Steam Deck. Yes, there are instructions out there for how to do it. Now the ROG thing will totally do it because it's just a Windows PC, so it'll do whatever. The Steam Deck's based on Linux, but I think you can put Windows on it and it'll run.
These some of these have like a really specific like shape to them and stuff. Like there's
I mean, it looks cool. If they sent me one, I would totally try it.
I know, right? Oh, we should like hit them up, see if they.
I would test. I would test them out and give them feedback.
Yeah. So this one over here kind of looks like a Super Nintendo game. And some look like Game Boys. This one looks like a phone with like some things on the side or a Switch. That one looks just like a game. I mean, they're pretty cool looking. I don't know the quality of these things or anything. This one down here looks like the old little football games that you would get. Old DOS.
Yep.
You ever played those?
Yeah, I mean, they look cool. I mean, I would definitely try one out and see what it looks like.
They're pretty neat looking. Like I said, I don't know if they're worth anything. Tried anything even like this before. But like I said, there's inundated with these for these things. Like every other video, it's like, look at this. This is the Windows version.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the thing. We gotta be careful on the handhelds, because like Destiny's on Steam, right? Technically, it should work on the Steam Deck. However, they don't. And if they catch you running Destiny on anything other than a Windows machine, they will ban your account. Bungie will ban your account.
That's pretty crazy. These things say like your super high end games like Destiny and stuff like that, they're really graphics intense. Aren't recommended for the. You can play Steam games and stuff like that probably, but
these are like for more
lower end,
basic 2D indie games and emulation stuff.
It looks pretty cool. I thought about
it does look cool. Like I said, I would.
But we may have to reach out to these people.
I would totally try one out and see what it's like, and everything. I said something, speaking of like Switch stuff and everything too, a lot of people have problems with the Joy-Con drift on their Switches and stuff. Somebody came out with a thing called a Nitro deck, and they have different colors and everything. Some of them you can get the purple that looks like a GameCube. There's one that looks like a Super Nintendo, one that looks like a Super Famicom, different colors. Basically, you just plug it works on the OLED or the normal version. You just plug the actual Switch, like you would put in the dock, into it. But they're supposed to be very nice, way upgraded sticks that don't do the drift. There's back buttons that you can program to do stuff. I know dislikes back buttons. It looked kind of cool as an option.
Yeah, the colors are pretty cool. Like that one looks like the Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah, I would get that one.
That one's blacked out. That one looks like Xbox controller. That one looks minty green. I'm not really sure on that one.
It does look minty green.
Right.
Yeah, I would definitely get the Super Nintendo one if it were me.
Yeah, I don't really use my Switch as a handheld though. I usually
Me either.
use it almost
I don't either.
Console.
Yep. Yep, me too. But I thought that was kind of cool for people that do use it a lot as a handheld or whatever, to kind of get rid of the drift problem that they have. And also
Yeah, I've
add
had
a
to
couple more
replace
buttons.
about 2 or 3 Joy-Cons or whatever you call because that stick drift.
Yeah, knock on Formica, I've never had that problem so far. Yeah, and I've owned quite a few Switches, more than I ever thought that I would.
All right. Well, I guess we'll stop there for the evening. Stuff we have going on coming up. We've got D&D action this Sunday.
Excuse me, sir. No.
No, am I skipping those?
It's hot D&D action. Not D&D action. Hot D&D action.
This Sunday at 7 p.m. time.
This Sunday at 7 p.m.
I don't know what.
Yeah, it is. It's still daylight time. Yeah, until November.
Okay.
Yep.
So, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to play some D&D for about 3-4 hours there. See where the party goes from there. We have the return of Clan Diesel.
Hopefully.
The show. Yeah, hopefully. And then coming up Monday, we should have some Super Retro Game Show Extreme at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We're playing through Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I think we're on. Oh, we're not at the dungeon. We're on Dungeon 7. I think we have to find Dungeon 7.
Yep, we gotta find Dungeon 7. Yep.
We're getting close to the end of that game. Then we'll start Oracle
Ages.
The time-based one. So they're both kind of time-based. And it jumps you between the seasons. So never played that one. Never played the one we're on. I'm enjoying it a lot. The boss fights are probably some harder ones that I've ever played on any Zelda game.
That's because they're secretly Mega Man bosses.
They are mean.
That's the secret. They're Mega Man bosses.
Yeah, they are, because once you figure out how to play them, it gets a lot easier. Man, they smooth you in the face
that pattern
immediately. So And then we'll have 3 old men next Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So, and other than that, the Block Buck, he's been streaming through the week. I would imagine you're going to continue with your 7 days next week.
I'm gonna be live tomorrow.
Live.
For that. I've got something coming up. Supposed to start on the 24th and go through the 30th. It's a 30 hours of gaming, which I've got to get everything set up for it, announcement wise. But it's a charity event for Stop Soldier Suicide. And I'm going to try to get all that announcement and stuff out there prior to doing it. We're not going to start it on the 24th because that's on a Sunday. We're going to start it on the 25th. And I'm going to do it during my normal stream time frames. But I'm going to try to do it that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday and knock the 30 hours out during those time frames. And see what we can do. But I've got a lot of work to put in between now and then for the stream to get the stuff, commands, alerts, and everything linked and set up for that. But we'll see how it works.
All right. Definitely get that set up and going. Put the word out.
I laughed though when it said 30 hours of gaming. I was like, only 30 hours?
One standard Buck gaming session.
I mean, I could sit here for 30 hours and knock that out in one run. Only having to get up to go to the bathroom. I could pull it off.
So, Clan Diesel added a new item to our store there. So, you didn't know
I
we have
did.
merch over there. He added this beanie here that I wanted him to throw out there with the just the letter logo of Super Retro Game Show Extreme.
That's right. And as you can see in the description, if you'll open that up, Diz, to the actual page for that item, you can see there that there's a disclaimer that we're not responsible for people coming up to you asking what SRGSX is. That's on you for ordering the beanie. We can't be held responsible for that. Yeah, that's out there, brand new as of this afternoon. And there's our lovely model, generic model
number 5.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, this is generic model number 5.
And we also have a YouTube channel. If you want to go check that out, we got all of the previous episodes. Real Men, Super Retro Game Show Extreme, both of our D&D campaigns, some episodes after the roll, which we're not really doing at the moment. And then some random streams from other stuff.
Random ass streams.
Some other crazy stuff. See if you can find the most viewed video and leave a comment.
Can you find it?
It's a special one.
It is a special one, near and dear to our hearts.
Just like it's like season 2 of Firefly. We're waiting for the sequel.
That's true. I need to do that. I need to set that up. That's what I'll do. That'll be my special Halloween thing. I will do a video of the second one, and I'll have it post at 4 a.m. That way it's there. Oh, also, by the way, speaking of Halloween and things coming up, I don't know if you know this or not, Chad, but Diz and Buck are not the only DMs here in this chat. I DM'd once at Christmas, and it was amazing. Hands down, voted our number 1 best Christmas show ever. So, some people have been asking, And the answer is yes. I am planning to do a Halloween one shot this year. So hold on to your butts. Just putting it out there. And now I have to do it because I told everybody I was going to do it. So there you go. It's going to be there.
So, yes. Till next time. These kids off our lawn. Our Final Fantasy VII Midgar lawn.
Hey, you kids, get off our Mako reactor.